Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Maryville University Hockey Center here in Chesterfield, Missouri. I'm Todd Panula alongside Andrew Marsh, and we're here to bring you all of tonight's exciting women's hockey action as it's the Maryville Saints against the Lindenwood Lions. Well, it's been building to this for this program for about a month now, and finally they have their first home game, Andrew.
Yeah, they've played 4 games so far, all on the road, but it's finally exciting. We're excited to see them here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Hopefully they can pick up their first win here at home.
A tough challenge in Lindenwood. What are some of your keys for tonight's game?
Yeah, so tonight the Saints got to play a full 60-minute game. We talked about it, how they've been playing really well in the first game and the back half of the game, but they need to put together a full 60 in order to come out with that first victory.
It's been something that's been a little bit hard to come by so far for Maryville, was that full 60, because they've played the back half of these early games pretty well so far, but as you say, they haven't necessarily put together that full game. What's one of your other keys to victory tonight?
Just got to funnel shots toward the net. They only have 5 goals in 4 games so far, so just get pucks on net, and hopefully we can get some goals here.
Definitely something that they have to work on. Trying to get that first goal would be pretty big here tonight, too, because that's something they failed to do. They've allowed the first goal in all 4 games, so that would definitely be a big key for them tonight. Final key to victory?
Structured defense. This Lindenwood team in the last 2 matchups, they put up 11 goals in those 2 games, so they gotta get structured defensively and hopefully get some big goaltending tonight.
Seems like everything kind of plays together with that full 60 to where if they can play that structured defense as you talk about, keep those early goals out, give themselves a little bit of a chance in the early momentum, and perhaps that plays into a victory here tonight.
I know, we're hoping so. It should be fun to get things going here in the first home game.
Well, we're just moments away from puck drop on the first home game in program history for the Maryville Saints. They'll take on a very tough challenge from just a bit up the road in the Lindenwood Lions. We'll have the puck drop for you in just a moment. This is the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. We'll be right back.
There's a super fun city, a quick getaway, where there's so much excitement you need more than a day. St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun. So much fun for your family, infinity plus a ton. It's got works of wonder, things to wow your brain, an amazing pep performance all aboard all the trains. Some museums are historic, some hit the right blue notes. Maybe catch a cards game, whatever paddles your boat. Yeah, St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun.
Visit us at ExploreSt.Louis.com for your chance to win a weekend of non-stop fun.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
The Maryville Saints Hockey Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Maryville Saints against the Lindenwood Lions, the home opener for this women's program. Marshy, who have we got for the starters for our Saints?
Starting in net for the Saints, Sawyer Duncan, number 35. At left wing, Sydney Poisson. Center, Maddie Johnson, and on right wing, Megan Flock. On the back end, we have Emma Gerwitz and Maggie Brawley.
So it'll be a big-time game for the Saints here tonight as they take on one of the powers in the region in the Lindenwood Lions. Lions come in 5-1. Maryville looking for their first win in program history. They'd love to do it here tonight. We'll go through the starters very quickly for Lindenwood before we get to puck drop. Kennedy Frank, Michaela Reed, Mackenzie Drost, Hannah Jensen, Lindsay Gillis out on the ice, and Maya Busey is in between the pipes. Lindenwood will be wearing their blacks with the gold trim. Maryville will be wearing the whites with the red trim, heading left to right on your screen. We'll get the apologies over with right off the start. Still working through some technical difficulties, so the video will be a little bit delayed compared to the audio. We'll try to get that ironed out before the towards the near side. A good forecheck put on by the Lions as they try to dig it out of the corner. Reed has the stick in there, but it's stolen off the boards by the Saints. They get it out to center, and it bandies around a couple times off of some hip pads. Frank on the puck now, but then it's given away. Blowing a tire was Johnson, but getting it into the offensive zone. Circling back around is Gillis, and then backhands it up the far side. Pressure put on from behind, but the puck squirts out to center. Put back in, but a delayed offside, so Maryville will change their lines. Lindenwood fires it in on the near side as the puck ricochets down below the end line, and now the Lions will roll the line change. Maryville trying to spring a counterattack. They get it over the blue line, and now here comes O'Leary. She hit a bit of a snow pile over there on the far side, and then the puck was taken away. Given right back, though. It's a hot potato right now as it was put back out in front. O'Brien with the chance. Didn't quite get it on goal with the amount of power that she would have liked. Back and forth it goes at center ice. Lindenwood has it at their own blue line. Fired off the far side, and they will head in. Trying to chase it down is McAlpine. She had a goal the last time when we broadcast that game out at the Centene Ice Center. Gillis with a long shot, but that sails wide by about 3 feet. Put back in from the far side boards. Wide of the goal again. Still no shots for either team. Close to too many men on the ice there for Lindenwood, but they get away with it as nobody touched the puck. Maryville puts it up the near boards, out to center, and the pass from Gerwitz wasn't on target. Off the body of Bell and in behind the Maryville line. From the point, wrist shot in and a bouncer, sticked away by the goaltender, Sawyer Duncan. That one was going wide the whole time, so still not an official shot on goal. Here's a 2-on-2 attack for the Saints, brought in on the left wing and then pushed in behind the goal. Oderman was trying to chase it down, but it was slowed in behind the net by Busey. Collision away from the puck. The whistle is for an offside. Slow to get up was Faith Cook. She'll head off to the bench.
Good pace so far here, Todd. About 2.5 minutes already gone in, and we just had our first whistle.
That's something that the Division II team would like to see, is a little more flow to the game. The shot goes wide of the net again. Rebound picked up by the Lions. Possession traded back and forth once again. A loose one at center ice, and in comes Johnson. She serves it up off the end wall, picks it up herself, a push out in front. Still no shots available. Defense for both teams has been good, although the passing has not been all that crisp. Now here's a 2-on-1 for the Lions. Wrist shot, blocker save, rebound, it's in. Are they going to count it? The referee's pointing at the goal, so it looks like Lindenwood will take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it looks like the Saints forwards got caught there, an on-man break for the Lindenwood Lions, and that's just a bad bounce. A good first save by Sawyer Duncan, and Lindenwood crashing the net, goes off the stick and into the back of the net. But a couple opportunities for Maryville early. Puck looked like it got stuck behind the net earlier, a couple feeds out front, but unable to bury it. Now Lindenwood leads 1-0.
So it looks like Frank will get the goal at 3:05 to put the Lions up by 1. Back to the point, rimmed around. Getting in front of it was O'Leary, but the Lions retained possession. McAlpine strangely off the boards, but she got it back to its intended target. O'Leary on the backhand. Now to the forehand from the far circle. Puts a shot in and another blocker save. The puck didn't miss the post by much, though. Maryville with a chance to clear. Moran skates it up and then backhands it away from her own bench. A bouncer right in the official circle. Ends up in the Maryville zone. Saints with possession. This one should be an icing call. No, they wave it off at the last moment. So back to pick it up is Gillis. On the forecheck, O'Brien. Wasn't able to get control of the puck, but the pass was off target. Gerwitz holds his own for the Saints, but struggles to get it off the wall, and now it's back out to center. Chopped into the zone by the Saints as they head off on a change. Forecheck put on, but not very much pressure coming from Greenfield. Tied up along the near side boards, and then a stick slams against the wall. Lions go tape to tape, circle to circle. Hard off the near side dashers. Gerwitz intercepts and soups one into the near corner. She heads back to the blue line, though, as her forwards come in on the pressure. Down to one knee. Stetzler was dispossessed. Frost comes back the other way for the Lions. Ladles one in behind the Saints goal. Everything being kept to the perimeter here in the early going. Just a little over 5 minutes into the first period, and the Saints are trailing 1-0. Gillis just outside the circle. Wrist shot was blocked. It's loose in the crease, and they score. Once again, the Saints unable to clear that puck away from their own net. Duncan is not all that happy at all. She thought she had frozen it up. The referee never blew the whistle, and the Lions lead by 2.
Yeah, the puck was just sitting there right on the line. And I think Sawyer thought that she had the puck, and she made a good initial save. And another unlucky break for the Saints.
So not the start that the Saints would have liked. We talked in the pregame, Marshy. They wanted to get a good 60 minutes in. They've had the energy, just not necessarily the execution.
Exactly. We'll see how they respond here, down 2.
Face-off won by the Lions as they throw it off the near boards. Intercepted by the Saints as they try to bring it in on the attack. Standing tall at the blue line was O'Connor. Saints find an avenue in on the far side. Rimmed around, and again, that dump and chase just isn't really working here in the early going. On the puck is Wasserman. Played it right into Lindenwood and a potential 3-on-2 break. Reed from the near side and a good shot blocked by Wasserman. Blowing a tire was Reed, but she got the pass off. An angle chance for the Lions was turned aside as Duncan was close to her post. 6 minutes in, and the Lions lead by 2. A scrum over on the far boards, won by the Lions. Fresh off the bench, picking it up is Greenfield, comes near side. Second attempt for Gerwich, and she sweeps it up to the blue line, but again, no further. On the attack is O'Brien. Shot ended up off target. They dig in along the corner boards. From the half wall, chip towards the corner, and again, the Lions take control. White skates it on around. Dishes over to Jensen. Gillis put on the brakes, up the wall, but out of the reach of her teammate. Hurwitz once again just chops one in the zone. She stays out on the ice, but the rest of her teammates head off on a change. Stretch pass way up, and that's off of Gerwitz's stick. Almost sprang the counter for McAlpine. Gerwitz takes her to the wall. A pass off the back of the goal. 12:55 left to go here in the period. Stolen as the pocket was picked, and then an open ice check there, and that's going to be a power play. Women's hockey, unfortunately, that's not allowed. Fans don't necessarily always like that, as it was a pretty clean hit. But the power play will go to the Saints.
Yeah, it seemed like the Saints started to pick it up after allowing those 2 early goals here in the first period. Now they have an opportunity on the power play to try and cut this deficit to 1.
If nothing else, you got to get a few shots on goal. Only 1 on target thus far for Maryville. Saints were 0 for 2 the last time these two teams met. See if they can get something going with the man advantage here this evening. They win the face-off. That's a good start. Puck comes back towards the blue line, tied up along the half wall. Given over to O'Brien. She looks for some options. Skates into the circle and then dishes to the corner. That was too hot to handle for Johnson, so the Lions will clear. Duncan trying to spring the attack, plays it up the near wall, finds a teammate as O'Leary left it. And again, that zone entry just isn't working here thus far.
It looks like the ref got in the way that time.
Saints a little discombobulated back in their own zone, passing back and forth in behind their own net. Just a little over 12 minutes to go here in the period, 1:13 left in the power play. Into the zone it goes, but only for about a second, and it's sent down the ice. Lions will change up their penalty killers. Maryville trying to get some fresh legs on the power play as well. They come in on the offensive end. Flock tied up right as she got towards the circle. Held in at the blue line, and then a shot in and a right pad save. Back to the point. Wristed up towards goal. Wide, and nobody here for the rebound on the near side. The Lions clear it down, fluttering puck right towards Duncan. One more chance to get it up the ice. There's 30 seconds left in the power play. Possession given away at center ice by both teams. Frost came up with it and just taps it into the zone. Wasserman in behind her own goal with pressure coming in. Lilies takes her to the wall and ties it up. Precious seconds ticking off the clock on this first power play. Blindly put towards the near wing. O'Leary gets it out, but again, the Saints not in possession. Doesn't go far enough for an icing call. And now Drost will slap it all the way down, and that's all she wrote for the first power play. Score still 2-0, almost given away, and that would have been dangerous for Duncan as she was trying to get back in position. Gerwitz chases it for the Saints. Flings it near side. O'Connor holds the zone for the Lions. McAlpine with a shot. That's blocked. Another opportunity. Slap shot from the high slot. That one was met with another Maryville body. Dellery sends it over near wing. McAlpine chases it down, leaves it in the corner. Shatford skates onto it. Good poke check there as Brawley was able to separate man from puck. Up the near wing as the Lions gain the offensive zone. Dellery comes in, skates behind the net, puts on the brakes, reverses it. Pass out towards the circle. Frank with a wrist shot. Pad save made, and then the rebound swept up the zone. Pushing the reset button, the Lions almost gave it away in their own end. Tossed out through center. Delayed offside here. Maryville with possession, trying to get it into the attacking end. There's nothing but black jerseys surrounding the blue line. Absolutely no space. Frank comes back the other way. Wasserman trying to slow her down. Slap shot and a good block there from Stetzler. Stelzer again with good positioning, trying to keep between the offensive player and the goal. Shots 5-2, score 2-0. Lions lead both categories. Delayed penalty coming up here, and now it looks like Lindenwood will head off to a power play of their own.
Yeah, Todd, on that last power play, it seemed like there was a lot of relentless pressure from the Lions where the Saints really couldn't get anything generated in the offensive zone. And when they were back in their own defensive zone trying to break out, they just had to funnel pucks up the boards. And, when you do that, sometimes you can't come out clean with the puck. And the puck was just sent back into the zone. So nothing really going there. And so far, having a tough time getting out of their zone, which has caused some chaos in front of the net. And now it ended up being a penalty. And now the Lions will go to the power play.
So holding is the call against Logan Rand. From the point down to the near circle. Dellery tosses it down low. McAlpine is there. Gerwitz keeps an eye on her. Put back out in front. And looked like Duncan might have got a piece of that. 8:30 left to go here in the first. Lions already up by 2. Looking to make it 3 potentially on this power play. O'Connor to the far side. Looking for a turn pass. Instead, a long shot. Duncan was turned around after she made the save. Manages to get back in position and then gave McAlpine a little bit of the business. Net is dislodged. Referee has not noticed it yet. Slap shot in. Duncan makes another save. Wraparound attempt. Kick save made. And finally the referee blows the whistle.
You mentioned that net being dislodged. I noticed it right away, right before all of that just ensued. The ref didn't even really see it. It was that right post. But good job by Sawyer Duncan by battling in front of the net. You had a body in front, and she did a good job at finding the puck a couple of times, made a spiraling save, if you want to call it that, spun around and got back into position, and then, like you said, that last save, sliding across and getting a pad on it. So terrific job by her so far.
Sawyer Duncan, one of the bright spots thus far for Maryville. Not to blame for either goal, just a couple bad bounces. Frost sets it up for the Lions from the blue line, gets the return pass as she's straight away at the point. Wristed in, knocked down by her own teammate. Frost tried to spin and shoot from the slot. That one was denied by too many Maryville players, and they will clear it out to center as they try to change their lines. Frank just chops it into the zone. Brawley took a spill, but the Saints still able to clear it down, and now they'll complete their change. 40 seconds left in the power play for Lindenwood. They'll bring it up the right side. Plenty of space on the wing. Frank crosses towards the circle, slows it up, drop pass, finds Turcotte. She takes a wrister, and that's eaten alive.
So far, so good for Maryville on the penalty kill. Getting the puck out of the zone when they need to, getting some fresh legs out there. Lindenwood can move the puck around really well in the offensive zone, especially on this power play. So kudos to the Saints for doing a good job so far. Still 20-plus seconds left on the power play for Lindenwood.
Near side, it comes to Statford. Skates up towards the circle, but her shot went well wide. Held into the zone by the Lions. Straightaway point for Frost. Now to the far wing for Turcotte, and she scores. A wrist shot. She kind of just puts her arms up. Don't think she intended that one to go in, but it's never a bad idea to put it on goal.
Well, Todd, I spoke too soon. I'll take the blame for that last goal, but I'm not sure if Sawyer Duncan even saw that puck. It looked like from her body or facial expressions, she was looking straight up. I don't think she saw, because that puck never even left the ice. And like you said, I'm not even sure if it was intended to. So
he's a jinx, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try to get rid of him.
I'll walk myself out of the rink.
Stretch pass denied as the Lions trying to escape their own zone. They're up 3-0, although they haven't put it up on the in-arena scoreboard yet. A wrist shot in, and again, a little too high, but the rebound was loose. Duncan looked like she had it, and then all of a sudden the puck sprang away. 6:30 to go. Lilies puts it behind the net, and another delayed penalty coming up as one of the Lions was without a stick very briefly. Apparently she was dispossessed of that stick unlawfully, so we will have an interference call, and Lindenwood will have another opportunity on the power play.
Lots of chaos going on right outside the blue paint early on in this game. It's been a tough day for Sawyer Duncan trying to fight off shots. She's made a couple of initial saves. There's been some rebounds and a lot of, like I said, chaos just going on, trying to find that puck and trying to make that second save. And I'm assuming that's where the penalty's coming from, is just the battle in front, which you never really like to see penalties come from in front of the net. But here we are.
You almost have to wonder if perhaps those early frustrations where she was kind of going after the referee are coming back to bite her a little bit. It looked like an easy save on that last chance, but puck sprang away. This puck went out of play. 1:50 left to go in the Lions' second power play. They're 1-for-1. Turcotte scored at 13:03. Lions win the face-off. Wasn't all that clean as McAlpine's tied up. Now they're going to try a short angle shot. Another save by Duncan. Still can't find the puck. Finally, the referee blows the whistle. And again, everybody in black other than one player was right in the goaltender's kitchen.
Yeah, that was a fantastic save. Came out and challenged the shooter, who had a wide open lane to go in and shoot on the net. So big save right there to keep it at a 3-0 game.
Whether it was by design or just happened, McAlpine for the Lions tied up one of the Saints players right off the faceoff, created that lane.
Yeah, it looked like a pick play almost that you would see, which is not legal in football.
This shot doesn't miss by much, just awry of the toe of Sawyer Duncan. Cross-ice pass now to the point. O'Connor with a wrister. That got all the way through. Finally blocked just about a foot outside the crease. Chopping at the puck. Oh, that would have sprang a counterattack and a possible shorthanded breakaway for Maddie Johnson. But unfortunately, the Lions have held the zone. McAlpine spins, puts it out in front, and then the shot goes wide. Kept alive. O'Connor tiptoes along the line to the far circle, and then a return pass. Eyes up a shot. Slap shot from the far side. A glove saved by Duncan. She seems almost like she's shaken up. Perhaps caught her on the thumb. O'Connor wants it at the point. Instead, Frost. A shot in from the near circle by Dellery. Reed will head off to the bench. McAlpine from the end line. Bad angle chance. Another save by Duncan. Just barely misses as it kind of nibbled off of her blocker. And almost into the back of the net.
I think on that one shot that hit off of her glove, I think she probably thought that she actually had the puck in her glove as it just barely glanced off of it. Another couple of great saves by Duncan right there in that last sequence.
Bell is tied up here on the near side. Penalty just about over as the puck flutters towards the far corner. Somebody's without a glove. And skating over to pick up the loose mitt is O'Leary. Bouncer in behind the net. Frost hands it over to Strayer. Looking back towards the blue line. Kicked at and jabbed at and held in. Maryville finally able to clear the zone, but not for long. Strayer on the forecheck, able to get a shot off. 3:50 left to go here in the period. Lions up by 3. Maryville looking for something late here in the period to give them a little bit of momentum heading into the intermission. Gerwitz off the boards, finds O'Leary as she skates in on her off wing. Wrist shot in, that's blocked. Backhand chance from Johnson goes wide. Lions looking for an escape route. Strayer with a little bit of space. Gerwitz tried to cut it off along the wall, but the puck got past her just a little too quick, but it was on the wrong side of the red line, so we have an icing call.
We'll see if the Saints can capitalize on this offensive zone draw. It's been all Lindenwood so far, and we haven't really seen the Saints in the offensive zone in quite some time. They had an opportunity right in the slot, and that shot got blocked, so we'll see if they can try and throw some more pucks towards the net and maybe get lucky here.
The offense has tended to come a little bit later in the games for Maryville. We'll see whether or not that holds true. Still 3 minutes to go here in the first. Gerwitz has it jabbed away, but right onto the stick of Johnson. She tried to reverse it, gives it over to Gerwitz, still pinned along the boards. Pass up to center was intercepted. Reed plays it right off the near side dashers, taken right back by the Saints into the zone for Flock. Not too much space, and then the shot was blocked as she allowed O'Connor to close the gap. Up for Reed. And Frank returns the favor to the far side. Poked loose, puck at center, and the Lions still have it. Here comes Frost. Tried to toss it through the wickets. Instead, that was blocked by Wasserman. Scrum in the corner, his body's falling all around. Frank tosses it back to the corner. Saints trying to pick up the physicality. Can only do so much without going back to the box. And a loose one in the crease is covered up by Duncan. Under 2 minutes to go here in the period. And it's been all Lindenwood thus far.
Yeah, I think it's important for the Saints to just come out of this period and get back into the dressing room and just try and figure things out going into the second.
Shot in from the far side, and Shatford tried to toss it towards the near post. And Duncan was in good position. We've mentioned a few times, Marshy, that Duncan's been the bright spot. But you can only have your goaltender tested so often. 13 shots already in this period after 40 were sent on goal in the last game as well.
And it looks like the Lindenwood Lions just took a penalty, so the Saints will have a power play. About 1:55 left here in the first period, so that's pretty much the rest of the period to try and make it a 3-1 game. You know, those goals at the end of the period are kind of daggers for a team.
So a potential momentum builder as the penalty goes against Risa Shatford. Linesman delaying the faceoff. Apparently he wanted Maddie Johnson out of the faceoff circle. She wasn't obliging.
Looks like something's wrong with her strap on her helmet, and that's why the referee made her come out of off of the ice, essentially. So
an equipment malfunction allowed the Lions to win the faceoff. And possession given away at center ice. Lindenwood tossing this one around like they're at 5-on-5, and they're down a man. So that kills off the early 20 seconds on this Saints power play. Second of the game. They're 0 for 1. Maryville tries to bring it up. They find space on the far wing, crossing the blue line. All the way towards the corner. And all the way around the world. Back to the point. Aaron struggled to hold it in at the blue line, and now they have to push the reset button. O'Leary up the wall, takes it back. Now O'Leary's got a little bit of space. Looking out in front, puck was jabbed loose just for a little bit. Then she gave it over to Poisson. And the clearance off the back of the linesman. That's actually going to spring a counterattack for the Lions. Here's Flock with a shot. Blocker save. Rebound. Cleared away. Chance to counter now. And offside.
That was close. Yeah, the Saints have had a couple great entries into the zone. They take the puck around the net and they try and set it up to the defenseman, and a couple errant passes have led to the puck going obviously back the other way. So if they can just settle things down in the offensive zone, they can try and get something going here with 35 seconds left in the period. But so far what I've seen, gaining entry into the zone, it's been fairly easy for the Saints. It's just getting things set up and trying to get scoring chances when you need them.
Face-off one. Gerwitz sweeps it into the zone, too close to goal. So they'll do the draw all over again. This time it'll come inside the zone.
And on those entries, they've had a couple odd man breaks, and you would like to see them try and get some shots on net there, just create some chaos in front of the net and maybe jam one home. But there's nothing wrong with setting things up too. Just got to make sure that everything is good to go, and you once again just funnel shots from the point and create chaos in front of the net.
Trying a centering pass. That one was cut out by O'Connor as she sends it down the ice. Gerwitz will chase it down, and finally she realizes that the speedy Strayer was right on her back. 12 seconds left in the period. A bouncer up towards the line, sent right back in, so that will just about do it for the first period of play. It was controlled from the Lions almost from the get-go. Frank scored just a little over 3 minutes in. 2 more goals were added after that. And Lindenwood has the lead going into the first break. Well, Marshy, things didn't necessarily start all that well for Maryville. What do they need to try to talk about in the intermission to get things turned around, perhaps?
Yeah, I think some of the things that I think Coach Lang might touch upon is just trying to clean some things up in the defensive zone. A couple opportunities for Lindenwood have come from a couple mishaps in the defensive zone and getting pucks cleared in front of Sawyer Duncan. She's making the initial saves, but there's been a couple second opportunities for the Lions to bang home, and they have, and it's a 3-0 game going into the second period.
So we'll see what the final 40 minutes have in store for the Maryville Saints. They will have about 5 seconds of power play time to start the second. The score right now is 3-0. We'll be right back on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
I've always wanted to go back to school, but getting a degree feels complicated now. I don't know if I can fit into my life like I did before. And I think about all the new jobs out there, and everything's moving so fast. I need a degree to help me further my career, but one that is worth my time and money. And I'm ready for the next step and to make sacrifices. But I want a university that believes in me the way that I do.
Here at Maryville University, we stand for those who are brave. We've been bravely revolutionizing higher education for those striving to achieve for nearly 150 years. We're developing degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. Now, we're bringing this high-quality education online, so you can study anywhere at any time. The future belongs to the brave. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
All the work, because the road to the next level never ends. All the work, all the sweat. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain. Block it out. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained, I'm decked. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained, I'm decked. the work, because the road to the next level never ends.
There are very few companies that offer the opportunities that you'll find at Arco Construction.
I guess some companies, their mentality is it's this way, or no other way. And Arco really is just like, hey, it's about having a great atmosphere, a fun environment, work hard, play hard.
We truly do bleed Arco blue. It is a family here. We are culture, which sounds kind of weird, but at the end of the day, everybody always asks me what is unique about Arco, and I just think that our culture is one that can't be rivaled by any other company or any other opportunity.
If somebody really wants to do something special with their lives and their career, I think this is the best company to be able to do that.
We're about serving others. We're about culture. We're about stretching ourselves. We're about making a difference.
I think I'd have to say we are tireless.
We are experts in what we do. We are definitely not lazy.
We are the game changer. Construction is moving more and more into the design-build realm. Arco is the true design builder out there in a world of a lot of construction companies who like to throw the term around very loosely. We really are it.
We win projects, we have fun, we create opportunities for individuals' financial success. So we like to win, and we're very successful.
We're the best place you're ever going to work. Clear, bar none. That's the way it is. We're gonna set the standard. Arco is going to set a standard. And if you come to work here, then basically you're going to understand what the standard, what that bar is, and you're going to adjust everything else by this company. You're going to understand what the other companies are compared to this company.
St. Louis, 314-645-2000.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Will Starwalt, joined by Andrew Marsh. Here is your first period intermission report. It was a tough period for Maryville. They couldn't quite get it out of their offensive zone. You're doing the color, obviously. What did you see from your perspective that Maryville was doing right and wrong?
Yeah, so right off the hop, the game had a lot of great pace to it, back and forth. Maryville having some good opportunities. There's one specifically behind the net where Lindenwood kind of coughed the puck up. I don't know if the ice was still wet or what happened, but pass out front. A couple plays from behind the net that almost led to goals for Maryville. But after a couple of minutes went by, it seemed like Lindenwood just took a hold of this game. And after they got that first goal, which, by the way, I mean, tough goal. Sawyer Duncan's been playing remarkable so far. 3 goals. You look at the scoreboard, it might not show that, but she's making those initial saves, and Lindenwood's just crashing the net. And one of the things I think the Saints need to work on is just clearing those pucks out right in front of the net. The initial save is kind of just bouncing right there, and Duncan's trying to fight it off, but they're just ended up in the back of the net. 3 tough goals that I'm sure she wishes she had back, especially the second one. That music is very loud, but especially that second one where she made the initial save, and it was just sitting there right on the goal line, and she thought she had it. She even expressed her frustration to the referee, But unfortunately, they called it a goal, and that's kind of where we stand right now, 3-0. I think in this intermission right now, Coach Lang is probably telling them to, keep working on what they've been doing all year. There's still 40 minutes left in this game, so they're definitely not out of it by any means. They can definitely come back. So we're not worried here in the booth by any stretch of the means. And, they have 5 seconds left on the power play. We saw some good entries there late in that first period. They just need to calm things down when they do get opportunities in the offensive zone and just funnel pucks to the net. This goalie, Busey, is kicking out rebounds left and right. But, I think that's what they need to do in order to be successful in the remaining part of the game.
Yeah, you kind of covered everything that I had written down.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's all good. It's just you were saying that we're thinking the exact same thing. Maryville needs to find a way to get possession of the puck and work in 3 ways. Start in the defensive zone, then work it to the neutral zone, and then get to the offensive zone and take it step by step. There's still a lot of time left. They just need to focus on getting shots. We saw them taking shots at the end of that period.
Yeah.
I saw Lindenwood, had control of the first 15, and then Maryville started clawing their way to get to the offensive zone and get some pucks towards the net, try and, make it a 3-1, 3-2 going into the second period.
Yeah, I think, you're completely right, and maybe it's because you agreed with me, and I think I'm right too. I don't know. But, no, I agree. Like I said before, they just need to just get shots on net. And, when they do have those opportunities, make sure they're crashing the net for those rebounds. We saw Lindenwood doing that, and they got rewarded for that. But, it's like you said, there's 3 parts to that. It's the defensive zone, the neutral zone, and the offensive zone. And for the most part of that first period, the Saints were stuck in their defensive zone. So once you get that cleaned up, which is very simple stuff that they can, like I said, we saw it at the end of the first period. They were coming out of the zone with ease, and it's just something that you can fix because it is the simple stuff. So we'll see how they respond here in the second period.
And who knows, maybe it could have been a little bit of nerves, being the first home game that it is.
That's true.
Just maybe a little bit of, okay, now we got the first period, now we go. You got a little bit of a hole to climb out of, but hey, who doesn't like a little, comeback story?
Exactly.
Well, we will have the second period action coming right up here in about 4 minutes here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy. At Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line. More powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaefer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaefer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaefer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
I'll start with a split squat, and then followed by that will be a series of different kinds of jumps and movements that'll try and get off the ground as quickly as possible.
So before workouts, I roll out for probably 10 minutes max. After I go through my rolling routine, I'll generally go into a dynamic warm-up, and then I'll head to the gym and start my workout.
I pair hurdle hops after a different leg exercise, like a squat or a split squat. So you get the strength part, and then after you do the strength part and you're loaded with weight, you come over here and you're trying to be light on your feet and quick off the ground to, again, increase your explosiveness and speed on the ice.
Welcome back, 3-0, your first period score. Well, Marshy, not necessarily the way that the Saints would like things to have gone in the first period, but the last time these two teams played in the first game of a two-game series, same score heading into the second intermission. Maryville came back in that one. They didn't win, but at least they know they're capable.
Yeah, exactly. We saw a little bit of life there at the end of the first period with that power play. They just got to clean some things up here in the second, and they still have 40 minutes left to play in this game. That's a lot of time to get back into this game.
So the teams have taken the ice. We'll go to the puck drop here as we're just about set for the second period. The teams have gathered out at center ice. They've switched sides. Maryville will be going right to left on your screen. And the power play is now over. 5 seconds have elapsed. Saints will get it with a fresh sheet of ice here in their own zone. A deflected puck goes out of play into the netting, and that will cause the disruption in play.
One important note is that Emily Shaw is now in the game for the Saints. Sawyer Duncan is now on the bench, so it looks like her night is over. Although we thought that she did play a pretty good first period. She made some excellent saves, a couple rebounds here and there, and I'm sure she'd like to have some of those back. But, it might not have to do with Sawyer Duncan herself, but just to try and get this team going with a new goaltender in the cage.
Perhaps sending a message is an early save made and then a rebound swept away, so perhaps the message sent is that was the kind of rebound that was left available in the first period. 30 seconds in here in the second frame as the puck was stolen by Johnson, centered out in front. A sweeping pass towards the far side doesn't find a home. Johnson picks it off the wall, leaves it along the circle, tapped up the ice. Fresh off the bench, it was kicked at by Wasserman. Still, the Lions end up in possession, but blowing a tire and crossing the line was Jensen, so that put her offside.
Nice little kick save, I guess you want to call it, right there at the blue line. That prevented a 2-on-1 as the Saints kind of got caught up trying to change.
And that's been kind of the bugaboo for the Saints here in the early part of the season, is they seem to they either try to stay back and defend and then they get scored on, or they try to go up and look for goals, and that leaves avenues in the back. So it's all about trying to put together that complete game, but it's a learning process here in their first season.
So Emily Shaw already seeing action here in the second period. 2 quick shots, 2 big saves. She gobbled that last one up, not allowing Lindenwood to get a rebound as they were crashing the net and poking at her, trying to make it a 4-0 game.
Just looking over at the bench, Coach Lang was talking to Sawyer Duncan, so you got to figure, as you mentioned, Marshy, that this is probably just to kind of send a message to the team as opposed to anything that Duncan was absolutely not doing right. Down below the end line, O'Brien tried to jab it along the end wall. Instead, the Lions come up with it. Stratford along the along the wall. Intercepted at center as Wasserman sent it right back up towards the blue line, but then she's caught up in a pin over along the far boards. Lions will change their line. Saints sweep it up the near side, out of the reach of O'Brien. Almost a collision right at the edge of the circle. Stolen briefly by Iran, given right back, intercepted. Now a chance for the Saints, put out in front, and O'Leary is taken down. The net is dislodged. The arm is not up in the air, so apparently we're just going to get a face-off.
Yeah, it looks like she was trying to stretch herself out to try and knock that one on net. Is a great opportunity for the Saints. A turnover inside the Lindenwood zone, and that's the kind of hockey you like to see from this Saints team, is getting turnovers in the offensive zone and getting shots on net. Unfortunately, they couldn't bury one.
Saints win the face-off. Wrist shot in was stopped by Boosie. She didn't see that one till late. Gerwitz was looking for her second of the season. Offense has been hard to come by thus far for the Saints. Poisson, the leading goal scorer, with 2 on the year. Gerwitz scored the first goal in program history, which was against these Lions, but that was about a month ago. Bell comes in on the near wing, shoots up high, but off target. Lions jab it on around. Picking it up is Gerwitz. She's on her offhand. A tap pass is picked up, but Brawley was dispossessed on the poke check. Gerwitz slams it over towards the near side. That was very close to too many men. In fact, somebody in the stands was calling for it. Referee doesn't agree. And now we're going to get a penalty against Johnson, as she was guilty of another collision. Near side Turcotte, as the goaltender is off. Turcotte just kind of put it towards goal. Gerwitz cut it off on the way through, but a very dangerous power play for Lindenwood will head off onto the ice for the third time this evening.
Yeah, it looked like Maddie Johnson kind of came in late, laid the body, and like you said earlier in that first period, can't do that here at the women's game. And that resulted in another Lindenwood power play. So another opportunity for the Lions to tack on another goal. We'll see how the Saints can respond.
And quickly off the face-off, they score. The puck trickled over here towards the near side hash marks just outside the slot, and it was popped home. It looked like Michaela Reed will get the goal.
Todd, I think I'm going to stop talking when the Saints go to the penalty kill, because every time I do, it seems like they get scored on. So, I think that is another my bad.
You're just trying to be a positive voice out there. It's not working out for you right now.
It really isn't. I got to change something up. I don't. That's a tough shot there right off the draw, and unfortunately Emily Shaw couldn't make the save, and that's where we're at, 4-0.
So Shaw unable to come up with the reaction time on a shot that close. The second power play of the game, first goal of the contest for Michaela Reed. Lindenwood is now 2 for 3 with the man advantage as Shaw turns this one aside to the near boards. A little lackadaisical on the clearance, and the Lindenwood Lions hold the zone. McAlpine is in behind the net looking for some space, just digs it off the wall and puts it towards the circle. McAlpine from the slot, back to the point now. Skating in is White. Shot was deflected wide. Shaw guards the post, and she will freeze this one up. Clock stops with 16:53, and the Lions on top by 4. They've scored their 4th here in the second.
Yeah, that penalty that was taken not too long ago, that really kind of halted that momentum that the Saints had. They had some good offensive zone chances early in the second period, and then the penalty was taken. They scored the goal, and now a couple times that the Saints can't get the puck out of the zone. There's one right there as well.
Judging by the body language of some of the Maryville players, frustration clearly starting to set in a little bit. Just 4 minutes into the period here. Puck loose on the near circle, picked up by O'Brien, but she can't escape the zone. Wasserman sends it up the near wall and cut off by Turcotte before it crossed the blue line. O'Brien sends it far side, chopped out, but not over the blue line. Out of danger anyway. Good pressure being put on here by Lindenwood as they are just smothering the puck. Now a wrist shot in, met with a blocker save by Shaw. She has been tested early here since entering the game. In behind the net, Jensen comes over, hands it off to Gillies. Jensen gets it back. Pass through the top of the crease, finds nobody. O'Leary cuts it off, but again, her pocket was picked, and the puck only leaves the zone because the Lindenwood Lions played it out. Delayed offsides will give a little bit of breathing room now to the Saints. 5 minutes played here in the period. Puck off the near side dashers. Linesman had to jump to get out of the way. Gillies tosses it up out of the reach of its intended target, but linesman said either Maryville could have played it or it hit a stick. Either way, there was no icing. Jensen sweeps it along the end wall. Good move by Reed to avoid the poke check by Johnson. Puck off the side of the goal, and looks like Lindenwood's going to have another power play.
Yeah, that one rang the post. Maryville very physical in today's game as Johnson will head to the box once again. She took down another Lindenwood Lion. But the Saints are kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now by taking these penalties when they necessarily don't need to. But, yeah, we mentioned Emily Shaw a couple times in that last sequence, making some big saves, and she's coming out of her crease and challenging the shots and doing a good job so far here in the second period. A parade of shots have came her way in this second period, so we'll see how she fares the rest of the way, as it looks like Sawyer Duncan has left the bench and went into the locker room, so we'll have to see what's going on there. Hopefully it's not medical related.
I'm not sure if she wasn't feeling well or what happened, because I saw her cross the ice. Didn't really think too much of it, but she hasn't returned to the bench now.
Maybe an equipment issue,
could
perhaps?
possibly be. Now they're sending the trainer over to the Lindenwood bench. So there's a player down for them. Lindenwood wins the faceoff. One touch pass to Jensen, long shot in, glove save made by Shaw. She had a good look at that shot and was able to watch it all the way into the webbing. But that is the fifth shot on goal here, and we've just played a little over 5 minutes in this period. Lions feeling the flow here on the offensive side of things. Fourth power play for Lindenwood. They are 2 for 3 thus far. McAlpine's shot was knocked down. Once again, Maryville cannot clear. Comes near side to Gillies. Taps it back on across. O'Connor surveys the ice. Pass intended for Reed. Didn't quite hit her. Gillies walks it along the half boards. Now to the blue line. Long shot in. That one was blocked in front. Wasserman looked like she was a little bit shaken up. Might have caught it across the ankle. And now we get a stoppage. The referee's arm is up in the air. But who's going to the box?
Yeah, lucky break for the Saints. It's going to be a 4-on-4 now.
So interference is the call. Lindenwood will be down a man. And unfortunately, that's just going to kill off some of this power play, because I just happened to look up at the scoreboard. That's on me. That was a 5-minute penalty against Johnson. So 4:19 left on that one. It'll be 2:19 by the time this 4-on-4 ends.
Yeah, that was McAlpine who took the penalty for the Lions. It looked like she might have got caught up with Emily Shaw, and that's why Shaw couldn't get back to position.
Offside against Lindenwood as Shatford was unable to drag the toe. We'll have a stoppage and a face-off just outside the Maryville line. 13:45 left to go here in the period. Maryville once again had some good energy to start the period, much the way they did in the first. It kind of went south rather quickly. Saints in charge of the puck as Gerwitz brings it across, but as she tried to shoot it, it was blocked away by Turcotte with a little sweet check on the stick. Turcotte is on the puck, able to muscle her way past two Saints and into center ice. Through the neutral zone and into the attack, she pushes off Gerwitz. Puck ended up firing loose, and now they spring an attack for Poisson. From the far wing, onto the circle, backhand chance misses. Puck kept alive, but it was still jabbed out of the zone. Misfiring on the entry feed, went right to Turcotte. Lions can't clear initially, but it was given right back to them. The saucer pass finds Strayer at center ice. She skated in on the far wing. Finds a drop pass. O'Connor skates onto the near circle, shot in. Initial save made by Shaw, and she was able to cover the rebound as well.
Yeah, Shaw stopping those initial saves and not really giving much up for Lindenwood, who we saw in the first period would pounce on that second opportunity, and Shaw is just not giving them really anything.
Shaw a little bit smaller than Duncan, but she's got the quick reactions as well. From the circle, Gillies puts it in towards the slot. And now a shot in, and the rebound score. Another power play goal for Lindenwood, and once again off the rebound.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the Saints. Good initial save by Shaw, and that one just right out front. Nothing much you can do there, as the net was pretty empty because Shaw had to come out and challenge that first shot. Just redirected right in front of the net, and there's really nothing much you can do there.
And now we get a timeout by Tommy Lang. But yeah, to your point, it seemed like once that pass kind of got its way through after the slot, Lilies was open on the far wing. The initial shot, good save, but Lilies did the good thing, putting it off that far pad, and that's kind of what you want to do as a shooter. Try to shoot for that far side, where if you don't score, there's a rebound. That's what happened for Lindenwood, and they ended up with their 5th goal of the game. That one's actually an even strength goal. I initially wrote it down as power play, but we are still 4-on-4 for another 37 seconds.
Yeah, and that's the thing about that 5-minute penalty to Maddie Johnson, is that Lindenwood, yeah, they do get the 4-on-4 goal here, and now they will head to the power play again with over 2 minutes, which would be a normal power play. So they'll have time left on the board to try and put another on the scoreboard, and there's still 12:31 left here in the second period. So lots of time for Lindenwood to keep doing what they're doing, but also a lot of time for the Saints to try and regroup and get some attack here going. There's still, half of the game left, and they just took a timeout. Lots of good things can come from a timeout, just to reset and try and figure things out. We'll see if they can do that here.
Seems to be the story of this game thus far for Maryville, as they'll have brief bursts where they play pretty well, and we saw it right at the beginning of that 4-on-4 as Shaw eats another shot alive from the far circle off the stick of O'Connor. But it seems like just that bad break always seems to go against them, and they can't counteract that thus far.
Shaw doing another good job at coming out and challenging that shot and smuggling that puck up. But yeah, like you said, a couple bad breaks here and there, and it just seems like that's got, usually you try and not allow the bad breaks get to you, but it seems like today it's gotten to the Saints.
Poisson sends a pass over to Gerwitz, and then she's tripped up as she crossed the blue line. That the whistle was just for an offside. So we'll have a face-off in neutral ice with 12:07 left to go here in the second.
I think another storyline is how unlucky I am, because every time I say something, the next thing literally happens.
It's all about you, huh?
I'm having a tough day.
sure the parents don't appreciate that, those who are watching at home.
I'm sorry. Luck has not been on my side.
I need to find you a 4-leaf clover. 12 minutes left to go here in the second. Score 5-0 in favor of Lindenwood. Pinched off at the point by Brawley. She sends one in, and there's a save made. Poissant was trying to put on the pressure, but Turcotte played it off the end wall. Stratford gets it over, and now it's on for Frank. She chips it off the wall to herself, puts one towards goal. Did it go in? The referee says no, it's off the iron. That one was very close.
And if you're Emily Shaw, the first thing she'll tell you is, I played my angle right, and it hit off the post, which is my best friend.
She'll have to kiss that iron here in just a moment the next time we get a stoppage. Puck loose in center ice. Bell kind of cut it off. It's on for Dross as she drops it back to Turcotte at the blue line. Too far for a Rand. Brawley picks it up, throws it off the near boards. Deflected puck held in by O'Connor. Stelzer steps up and puts a check in. Referee going to allow that one with the score 5-0. Not sure he saw it either way. A loose one in the corner, picked up by the Lions. Centering pass, and Gillies scores. One-timer from in close. Not too much that Shaw could do about that one. She lunged out, but unfortunately for her, it was in vain. So now that does end up being a power play goal. So it makes it 6-0.
Yeah, Gillies the defenseman, throwing it down low, jumping up into the play. 5-on-5, that's, you can take that, you can take your man, and usually that doesn't happen, but when you're on the penalty kill, the other team starts moving around a little bit and they start working the puck down low and feeding it back up top. It's tough to stop.
Maddie Johnson had come out of the penalty box thinking that was all they wrote for the goal, but being as it was a 5-minute penalty, she has to stay in for the full time. So still just under a minute of power play time here for the Lions. Closing in on the midway point of the game, McAlpine avoids the poke check from the circle. Cross-ice pass, and they fan on the shot. Otherwise, that was going to be 7-0. Shaw trying to get back in position as they had her scrambling at the top of her crease. Now Gillies with another blast from the near side and a good shoulder save. Gillies with the puck again. Dances around one player. Score! A little scoop shot. Showing some moves, cutting in from the blue line, and the second goal in less than as many minutes for Lindsay Gillies.
That's tough for Emily Shaw. That last shot that Gillies had not too long ago, she goes left side low. So what Emily Shaw thinks, she has to drop down. Being that Emily Shaw isn't as tall as Sawyer Duncan, she drops down thinking that the shot might be low again, like that last shot from Gillies that went in, and Gillies just goes up high and ends up getting her second of the day.
So the goal comes about 40 seconds after. As there's a big swing and a miss there from Stelzer. She's definitely been getting frustrated. Got away with the body check at the blue line about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Cross-ice pass onto the stick of Drost. She comes in, pushed from behind. Referee's going to call it. Puck still loose. Finally, it's tied up. And now we get some extracurricular activity behind the net as Strayer was in a bit of a pushing match.
It seemed like the referee didn't want to call that a penalty. It looked like he hesitated on putting his arm up, but once she slid into the boards, and it didn't look like she was going to get up there for probably a second or so, he threw the arm up, and that's a play that it could go either way. You're trying to avoid the breakaway, and you just want to get a body on the forward, but unfortunately it led to a penalty.
Now Drost with the puck, skates it in towards the circle, takes a shot. That might have actually been a pass as she was looking for Lilies on the near post. Unfortunately for Saints fans, that one didn't quite connect.
I'm not sure if that hit the post or it hit off the stick. That was backdoor. Either way, a good break for the Saints.
Saints can't clear on the initial attempt. Flock with it on the near side. Flops it out towards the blue line, but no further. Rink wide pass. Frank brings it in for the Lions. Crosses on the attack. Drops one off. Jensen with a shot up high, and it's gloved down by Shaw.
Yeah, not the second period that we were hoping for here for the Saints. It's tough. You know, when you're in the box for most of the second period, it's hard to get anything offensively going, and they showed signs of that early in the second period. You know, that kind of stemmed from that late first period push as well, but penalties have been the story so far here in the second.
So not quite 12 minutes played here in the second period, and by the time we've hit that, there will be just about 7 minutes of power play time for Lindenwood. Now Reed with a slap shot. That one got all the way through. Shaw somehow got a piece of it, but the Saints cannot clear. Reed with another opportunity. Puck bounced on her. Jabbed out of the zone by Oderman, and she will just toss one in and head off. 45 seconds left in the man advantage. 8:11 left to go in the period. Off the near side dashers, cut out by Gerwitz at center, and she'll send it back the other way. Shots are 25-7 in favor of the Lions. Shaw sweeps it towards the near corner, reversed by Johnson. Puck just sneaks away from Gerwitz. Lions looking to set it up from behind the goal. Pass was knocked away. Fluttering puck. Finally sent out towards center ice. It bounces up towards the blue line. Gillis with it right in front of the Maryville bench. Again, showing some stick handling moves, and she's going to take it coast to coast. Finally, her pocket pick was by Poisson at the end of that play. Fresh out of the box, Brawley trying to steal one. Now the stretch pass comes all the way here for the Lions, and they score. A big-time move there by Marissa Del Rey. She was able to get Shaw out of position and then just tuck it home.
Yeah, it looks like the Saints got caught watching as that initially was going to be a 2-on-1 and ended up being a breakaway. A nice move there, and unfortunately Emily Shaw couldn't come up with the save.
So right now you have to feel a little bit for Emily Shaw because there is no relief coming for her. She has been peppered here in this period. The puck trickles towards goal. Boosie will cover it up. Still haven't seen Sawyer Duncan come back to the bench, and again, we don't really have word if that's just the way that they figured they wouldn't have her sit on the bench, or if she wasn't feeling well or an equipment issue. But nevertheless, it's probably going to be Emily Shaw from here on out. She's already had 5 sneak behind her here in this period. 7:04 remaining here in the second. Turcotte with the puck off the draw. Poisson trying to get a bit of a forecheck going, but the Lions pass right around it. Now they've got a 3-on-2. Skating in towards the circle. It was poked loose just for a moment. Aran tries to chase it down for the Saints. Poisson was keeping an eye on the puck, and she's got to be thanking her lucky stars that there isn't contact allowed, because otherwise she was about to get blown up.
And we mentioned the goaltending throughout the entire game, and you look at the scoreboard, it says 8-0, but you can't discredit these goaltenders. They've made some unbelievable saves, and this score could easily be a lot larger than what it is right now if these two goaltenders haven't, come up with the large saves when they needed to.
And the phrase that I feel like I keep repeating is the Saints unable to clear it around. Wraparound attempt. There was an opening there, but Lilies wasn't able to quite cut the angle. So a little over 6 minutes left to go here in the second period. Saints changing their lines as they get some fresh legs out there. And one look at the benches tells you a big-time story in terms of the energy levels that these teams are going to have available, as Maryville has far fewer players at their disposal than the Lindenwood Lions do. Any coach will say that's not an excuse, but I mean, it's just a matter of fact. Lindenwood with the interception right at their attacking blue line, or excuse me, Maryville with the interception, but can't quite get possession inside the zone. 5:35 left to go here in the period. Puck loose at center ice. Brought in by Strayer on the far side. She puts on the brakes, almost overskated the puck, regains it. And now down on the ice is O'Leary, and she seems to be in some discomfort.
It doesn't look like she was hit on the boards. She got tangled up with a stick, kind of went forward into the boards. She might have hit her head and then came back, but it looks like she's okay, and that's good to see. But yeah, you mentioned the benches and the amount of players that Lindenwood has compared to the Saints. I mean, another full line of players on the forward side and then a full set of defensemen as well. I mean, you look at that, that's 5 more players than what Maryville has. And if you're running 4 lines compared to 3 lines, and you're running 3 defense pair compared to 2 defense pair, there's going to be a little bit of an energy difference, especially later in the game. And we're hitting about, we're over the halfway mark of the second period, and we're starting to see it. And especially when you're taking penalties as well, you're running around in your own zone. You get tired. The legs get tired. Luckily right here, looks like they are going to the power play, a 5-minute, so.
Kind of an interesting call. Didn't see too much in there. And I don't think the referee had his arm up in the air initially.
I didn't see that, yeah.
Must have been something that the linesman stepped in and explained what happened. But something that Maryville could potentially build off of, a 5-minute power play. You'd love to see them at least get 1 goal here and at least start feeling them better about themselves. And that is a dangerous pass from Shaw, putting it right through the crease with a Lindenwood player in the vicinity. Gerwitz comes back, picks up the biscuit, tosses it off the near wall, but unable to handle it was Wasserman. Flock will bang it back the other way. Gerwitz cuts it off. Backhand pass again, just not quite there. Johnson was a little too far up the zone. Shorthanded chance potentially.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Gerwitz makes the save as the puck just squirted in behind Shaw. And all the Saints can do is send it down the ice for an icing as they want to get a breather, despite the fact that they're up by a player.
Yeah, that was tough right there. You had a couple players going the opposite way. I think the Saints need to just slow things down. Looked like they were trying to rush things to try and get into the zone, and they coughed the puck up a couple times. So just slow things down and just ease your way into the zone. I know Lindenwood is they got some speed on the kill, that's for sure. A lot of pressure.
And credit has to go to the Lions for the penalty kill that they've put on thus far, but to your point, I feel like Maryville's trying to get this game tied up with 1 shot, and it's like pretty sure that 8-goal shot doesn't quite exist in hockey as of yet. Just a little over 4 minutes left to go in the period, a little under 4 left to go in the power play. Saints will set it up in behind their own goal. Puck squirts away from Poissant, but she regains it on the circle. Wrist shot blocked, and it goes out of play. Dusted it off 1 time too many, and that allowed Gillies to get the stick in front.
Well, here's an offensive zone draw for the Saints. If they can win this face-off, they can get something set up here, and there's still 3 minutes and 29 seconds left on this power play. And although you're down by 8, still a lot to work on and trying to build off of, and this might be one of those games.
Jensen taps it off the near boards as she sends it into her offensive zone. Almost stole it away from Arand. Arand tosses one up towards the blue line, but again, just not too much purpose in behind it. From the near wall, Jensen steps in front and makes the steal. Saints are on the power play, although you wouldn't know it the way that they're pinned inside their own zone. Stratford just tosses it. Jensen picks up the loose puck in the corner. Flock tries to send her to the wall. Jensen is down, gets a bit of a little stick towards the helmet. Flock loses her mitt, and now they score. Shorthanded. Del Rey with another goal, and it is now 9-0.
Just one of those games, Todd. It's, things don't go your way, and you can get frustrated, and a couple mistakes here and there, and a good team like Lindenwood, they'll put it in the back of your net, and that's what we've seen all day. But like I said before, a lot of stuff that you can work on during a game. Even though the game might be out of reach, still lots to take from this game, especially in this period. There's still another period left after the second that this team can, sit back, see what they need to work on, and try and implement those things here in the next period.
From the far wing, Poissant brings it all the way in behind the net to the near side. As Maryville finally with a little bit of space to try to set up the power play, and then just one little poke check from Del Rey disrupted all of that. Poissant sweeps it up to the red line. O'Brien picks up the loose change, puts on the brakes from the half wall, skates into open ice, almost dispossessed. Second opportunity, and that would have been close to a 2-on-1 break had that puck been given up. Gerwitz from the point, looking for Poissant on the circle. She eventually gets it after it was kicked at by Johnson. Looking for Johnson in front, but the pass knocked away. Saints skate over towards the near wing. O'Leary gets the return pass. Wrist shot in, toe save, and the rebound swept away.
That was the best opportunity that I've seen all day for the Saints. They slowed things down in the offensive zone on the power play. Got the feet moving and created an offensive chance right there. Unfortunately, couldn't bang home the rebound, but that's exactly what you want to see if you're a player on the Saints team.
Rare possession and puck possession inside the zone as well. Lindenwood able to collect the loose puck, send it down the ice. 1:17 left to go here in the power play of what was a 5-minute major against Hallie Fisher. This one slides just wide of the goal. Gillies will pick it up. Flock on the forecheck, but wasn't there quickly enough. 1:15 left to go in the period. It's been an eventful period from the Lions' perspective. Stelzer drops it off, looking for the return pass, but that was just a bit too far out of her reach. Looked like an odd man rush was building there for the Lions. Instead, they go off on a line change. Floated up the near side wall. 30 seconds left on the power play. Lions with it in their own zone. Stretch pass from Gillies was looking for Strayer. That's off the mark. Shaw, once again showing that stick handling isn't necessarily her forte. It's given away behind the net. Aran kicks at it. She's joined by Brawley, with the puck tied up along the boards, and the referee not even looking like he's about to blow it dead. Now another shorthanded chance here. Shaw makes the save, and it's off the post and in. You have to feel for the Maryville goaltenders this evening, as they've made some good saves, but the puck bounces just will not favor them.
Yeah, that's tough. You have a scrum down low. You mentioned the ref didn't seem like he was going to blow the whistle at any point, but the Saints can't leave the front of the net wide open and unoccupied. You have to have someone down there making sure that there's someone in front of the net in case something like that were to happen, and it looks like the Saints will be heading to the kill once again right off the faceoff draw.
So once again, frustration coming into play for the Saints. And right as things had returned to 5-on-5, it's going to lead to another power play for the Lions, potentially anyway, as the referee was pointing at somebody else. So we're going to have multiple players going into the box one way or the other. Looks like Maryville might have been bailed out here, as Hannah Jensen is headed into the box for the Lions, joined by Maddie Johnson. And the only disappointing thing about Johnson going into the box is this is the second time for her. And as the captain, you'd like to see a little bit more discipline. But she's also trying to stick up for her teammates, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, Johnson being the captain, you kind of have to tiptoe that line of playing physical, even though this women's game doesn't allow for much physicality, but you also have to step up for your team and show leadership on the ice as well as off the ice. That's the goal of a captain. And, you know, unlike the men's game where if you lay the body, throw a big hit, it looks like something's going on over here in the stands.
And I believe the officials are trying to remove some of the few fans that were let in here. Now you have to figure that was something that was said. With so few people in the stands, it's easier to pick out what was said and by whom.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, neither did I.
I'm assuming it was bad, though, because they were just ejected from the stands.
The only thing I can think is it was directed directly at the official. As the Saints win the draw, clear it down. Picked up in the corner by Poisson. She tried to toss it back out in front, but that'll do it. 40 minutes have been played, and once again, it was all Lindenwood as they score a whopping 7 goals in that period. And you have to feel for the Maryville goaltenders. As we said, Marshy, they played well, just haven't gotten the support, and the Saints just a little too much frustration in their game.
Yeah, we were expecting a better second period. It was a 3-0 game going into the second period, which, you know, it was 3 goals, but it's maintainable. You can come back and you know, win that game. But now, you know, I think the penalties really got to the Saints in this second period and allowed the Lindenwood Lions to just tack on goal after goal. And, yeah, not so much on the goaltender's fault for, you know, at least half of those goals. I mean, just not a lot of support there. But, you know, for the most part, you know, this is a tough one. And, you know, it's a team game, and we'll head into the second intermission and see if the Saints can hopefully tack on a few goals here in the third period and, you know, try and work on some things moving into Sunday's game.
So we will take a quick break. We'll see what the final 20 minutes has in store. Will Starwalt will join us for the intermission report, but we will take a break right before then. This is the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
Look, sport might not be the answer right now, but it teaches us this, that impossible challenges must be faced and overcome. And the reward is joy. And it will always be that way. And now that sport is back, don't waste these chances. Play with more heart, even more fire, and hope that does not end. Seek out what scares you and let your body do what it loves. Nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody knows what will come our way. So honor every breath and respect every chance. Opportunities will come, and we must be ready.
By now, you guys probably know there's a lot to see and do in St. Louis. But when it comes to the art scene, there's more here than meets the eye. From Laumeier Sculpture Park and the City Garden to the stunning Cathedral Basilica, one of the largest mosaic collections in the entire world. So if art is your thing, St. Louis is on display all year long. Ooh, now that's an exhibit. St. Lou is always exploring.
A lot of the times, students that are thinking about entering our program, they have a lot of questions. They've done their research. A lot of the questions that the students have are based upon outcomes. Where am I going to be 4 years from now if I decide to be in the Rawlings Sport Business Management program? Here, I'll show you. Here's where our alumni work now. We have students working in the athletic department at universities. We have students working for sports teams. We have students working for sports agencies, whether it be an Abstract Marketing, a Learfield Sports, an IMG. Those are a lot of the organizations that are hiring our students. We do have a lot of our alumni who do work for sports teams, whether it be the Houston Rockets, the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues. Many of our students have worked for those agencies and continue to work for those types of organizations now.
At Wassa Homes, we understand building a home may seem complicated and stressful. That's why we created a simple 3-step building process, so you don't have to feel confused or overwhelmed. We've been building homes for 50 years, and our customers know at Wassa Homes we build your way with a firm price and on time. 100% panelized construction and 100% custom. Start the process by visiting us online at wassahomes.com to see our floor plans.
Power 8. Man, if I had had this kind of power back in my day, my crossover would have been something else. I'd have broke everybody's ankles. The rare peanut vendor. My crossover would have been so crazy. If you recorded it, watched it 2 weeks later, broke ankles. Man, that is some kind of power. Careful now.
There's a super fun city, a quick getaway, where there's so much excitement you need more than a day. St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun. So much fun for your family, infinity plus a ton. It's got works of wonder, things to wow your brain, an amazing pep performance all aboard all the trains. Some museums are historic, some hit the right blues note. Maybe catch a cards game, whatever paddles your boat. Yeah, St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun.
Visit us at ExploreSt.Louis.com for your chance to win a weekend of non-stop fun.
Welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center with the score 10-0 after 40 minutes of play. Well, Will, that's not necessarily the way any coach is going to draw it up. Any kind of positives that they can try to pull out of the third period?
Well, their focus needs to be you got to get one. Well, they have a game on Sunday, so they'll have a day to recuperate after this game, but their focus has to be you have to get one. You got to get that goose egg off the board, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you lose by, but I always felt if I saw a 0 on the scoreboard, it hurt me a little more. It didn't matter what the other score was. It's just you got to get one. You got to get some type of positive going that you can carry on to the next few days. And they also got to stay out of the penalty box. That is also a big key. A lot of penalties in that second period for Maryville.
It's been an interesting night, to say the least, here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Obviously, the play on the ice, and as far as the Saints go, hasn't been the way that they wanted it, and they can't seem to get the audio in the arena quite right either.
Yeah, it's almost like we're having a bit of a mini concert here. I mean, makes things a little exciting, but I like my eardrums and I like keeping them. But going back to what happens on the ice, Maryville just kind of needs to focus up and this could have just been one of those days where it's just the puck doesn't bounce their way. It could go either way, but they just kind of got to find any positives you can. Even if it's just getting more shots on net, you just got to find anything you can to get traction going into Sunday.
Talking about how it was one of those weird games thus far, only 40 minutes played. You look at the final score, regardless of whatever it ends up being, if somebody just looks at the stat sheet, they're not going to think, oh, well, the goaltenders had a decent game. Really, Maryville's goaltenders have played pretty well. They just haven't got the bounces, and then not much help in front either.
Yeah, they've been dealing with the cards they've been dealt, if you want to say it that way. They've been making a lot of good saves when they can, but a lot of 2-on-1s, a couple of breakaways, a lot of power plays, and they've been facing a lot of shots. And they'll make the first save, a rebound will go in front, and then it just ends up in the back of the net. And there's not a whole lot you can do as the goalie about that.
We were talking about that, Marshy and myself, with such a short bench for Maryville, and then having so much time spent on special teams, that shortens your bench even more, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's you got to stay out of the penalty box, or vice versa, try and draw some penalties, be aggressive and just try and make something happen, just so you can get a few more minutes of having a full bench, even when it's short as it is.
So we'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have the puck drop on the third period. After 40 minutes of play, it is 10-0 in favor of the Lions. This is the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
I'll start with a split squat, and then followed by that will be a series of different kinds of jumps and movements that'll try and get off the ground as quickly as possible.
So before workouts, I roll out for probably 10 minutes max. After I go through my rolling routine, I'll generally go into a dynamic warm-up, and then I'll head to the gym and start my workout.
I pair hurdle hops after a different leg exercise, like a squat or a split squat. So you get the strength part, and then after you do the strength part and you're loaded with weight, you come over here and you're trying to be light on your feet and quick off the ground to, again, increase your explosiveness and speed on the ice.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy. At Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line, more powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
Hi, I'm Ethan Mahalicek, and I'm a game design major from St. Louis, Missouri. I decided on game design because it was something that new that they were offering at Maryville. It was kind of an addition to the interactive design program, and when they offered it, I hopped right on board. I've always loved video games, and so I figured why not try to make them. The professors have helped me build up to where I'm at the moment in a variety of ways, but one of the most important and influential, I think, has been them pushing me to take projects that I've done and push them to their limits. Here at Maryville, it's required as a design student that you do at least one internship. I kind of went a little bit beyond that and have done 3 at this point, or I'm currently in my 3rd. I'd say my favorite part about the program is that it's still kind of small at the moment, and so that allows for a really close connection with the professors and fellow students in the classroom, and a lot of involved work in the classroom. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes on, a lot of helping each other. If you're interested in game design, and even more so interested in Maryville, why not stop by, take a tour, and see what we're all about.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaefer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaefer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaefer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line. More powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
Welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center as the players are just about ready to take the ice for the third period. Well, Marcy, the thing we were talking with Will during the intermission was basically, if you're Maryville, you just got to look for at least something positive, maybe just try to get on the board.
Yeah, exactly. Try and get some offensive opportunities here in the third period. I mentioned it in the second, or towards the end of the second period. This game is somewhat out of reach at this point, but there are a lot of things that you can work on that you can build off of going into Sunday's game where you hope to grab that first win of the season.
So it'll be an important 20 minutes of play. Obviously, you're not probably going to get 10 goals, but perhaps they can try to find something to build off, as Marcy said, to work on, build towards something on Sunday afternoon. We'll see how these final 20 minutes shake out as the teams are ready to drop the puck here on the third period. So an interesting note that was passed along to me during the intermission was Emily Shaw, who is, despite the fact that she saw 7 goals behind her in that second period, has played pretty well. This is actually only her second day on the ice as she spent 10 days in concussion protocol. So talk about getting thrown into the fire.
Yeah, exactly. And she's done a pretty good job so far. A few of those goals I'm sure she'd like to have back, but for being on the ice only a few times, not too bad. Oh!
And a long shot and a score! Gurwitz just drove in here on the near wing, fired it towards goal. Pusey kind of waved at it with the glove hand, but it ends up beating her over the left-hand shoulder, and there's that goal we were talking about.
Hey, hot start right there, 8 seconds into the period. So quick that I didn't even get the words out of my mouth for you to make the goal call, but here we are.
As you say, Gurwitz at 8 seconds of the third period. She scored the first goal in program history, and she seems to like playing against Lindenwood, at least in terms of getting her name on the board. So a bit of energy now in the building for Maryville as we are 4-on-4, and surprisingly, Maryville has seemed to play a little bit better with that extra space on the ice. Lindenwood able to pick up the puck, though, as they set up their offensive pressure inside the zone. Exchanging places with her blue line counterpart was Michaela Reed. She skates all the way towards the half wall and then draws it back. Dishes off to Frost, who also puts on the brakes right around the same area on the ice. Kept around the perimeter. Decent defense here in the early going of the third period from Maryville. 50 seconds in. Reed from the top of the circle. Bouncing shot. Shaw down. Score. Shaw went to make the save. And as she got into position, the puck just kind of stopped right there at the top of the crease. And then the Lions were able to jab it through the 5-hole.
Yeah, it's hard as a goaltender trying to find the puck when there's so many bodies in front whacking away at the puck. And it looked like at the last second, her legs just opened up and it squeaked right in for that 5-hole goal.
Shaw looked like she was in a little bit of discomfort after kind of stretching out to make what she thought was going to be a save. But just as quickly as Maryville scored, Lindenwood comes back and regains their 10-goal lead. Wraparound attempt. Shaw makes the save. And Turcotte wasn't able to get hold of a rebound. Back out at center ice. Benson tosses it near side, looking for Lilies as she heads off on a change. Rand with the puck. Tosses it near side. O'Connor got a touch in on it. That'll avoid an icing call. Lindenwood in control. We're back to 5-on-5. Gillies sidesteps the pressure. She's shown some good stick handling ability here this evening. McAlpine was cut off by Gerwitz, but she lost her twig. One-timer out in front, and Del Reese scores. That's a hat-trick goal for her. And she doesn't really even know what to do. But they give her the puck. 3 goals and 12 for her team.
Yeah, she's stepped up in the play, activating as a defenseman, and she's been rewarded. We've seen that throughout the entire program at Lindenwood, as they like to get their defensemen activated into the offensive zone, and she's had a pretty good game so far, to say the least.
Gerwitz tosses one into the zone, cut off by White as she tosses it to the far side. Up the wall, Del Rey backhands it up towards center, intercepted by Gerwitz. Flips one towards goal, but wide by about 2 feet on the far wing. Johnson sandwiched up against the wall, but it was an attempt to play the puck. Everybody's struggling to get up over on the far side. Another looping puck towards goal, as McAlpine seems to have gotten the worst of that collision.
Yeah, it looked like they ran into one another, and that's never a good feeling when you you get hit. That's not a good feeling, but when you run into another player, it's just, especially when you're not expecting it, it's just, oh man, not the best feeling at all.
Nope, jars the bones. Off the draw, back to Wasserman. She took a wrister. That's knocked down. Fisher trying to go off to the races. Forgot about the puck in the process. Boosie leaves it in behind her own goal. Maryville got a piece of it. Wasserman knocks it down. Kept alive by Flock. She tossed it in front. Turcotte heads out the other way for the Lions, crosses the red line and sweeps it in. Little over 3 minutes played here in the period, and now we're going to get another power play for the Lions as Kennedy Frank was tripped up heading off.
Tough day for Maddie Johnson as she spent what seems to be most of the game in the penalty box. On that last one, she knew she was going to the box and she was not happy about it. I think, some frustration there from her. She knows that she's been in the box for most of the game and just didn't want to go back there.
Spent a good portion of this game sitting. Maryville wins the draw. Nobody gets control of the puck initially. Then Frank sent a shot in towards goal, just barely missed. And finally the Saints are able to clear, which is something that we have not been able to say too often with Lindenwood now on their 6th power play. And they've got 3 goals thus far. Brought in on the far side. Turcotte avoids the poke check. Sends in a looping wrister. Almost popped it up and over the Shaw. Flock keeps it alive. Trying to dig it off the wall, though. Hands it over to Fisher. She's pushed up against the glass, and now it's going to be a 5-on-3 for Lindenwood as there's going to be another penalty called. That one seemed a little more ticky-tack, but you have to say that the official has been fairly consistent.
Yeah, and any sort of hit physicality that we've seen today has, for the most part, been called. And, when it comes to that part of this game, the refs want to be a little bit consistent. So if it is a little ticky-tacky for the most part, we want to keep these players safe just in case something were to happen. They don't want to be liable for that. Not that they're liable, but, kind of bad if they didn't make a call.
It was a little bit from behind. The numbers were showing. So it's a 5-on-3 for a full minute and 12 seconds. O'Connor has it at the point. Now goes far side. O'Connor gets it back. Skates in towards the high slot. Shoots, score! Just like that. Only about 10 seconds came off of the clock after winning the faceoff, and that makes it 13-1.
Yeah, just a bad break there for Emily Shaw. I think she would have stayed on her feet. I think it would have went right into the glove, but the initial shot, I don't think she expected that to go to the top right corner, so she went down to make the save, and it just went right over her glove side.
Starting to run out of space on my score sheet here. Not sure what I'll do after that. Still a power play attack, though, as the second penalty to Paige Stelzer is still up on the board. Lions bring it in on the far side, on or off hand. Here comes Reed. She brings it all the way across, and again Shaw went down rather quickly. Left that top portion of the net empty, but as you said, that's kind of the style these days. No matter whether you're a big goaltender or a small one, everybody goes down in the butterfly rather early. Jensen kicked it across the blue line. Gerwitz stepped up into it, but it's still getting right back. Here's Lillies back to the forehand, and a toe save made. Jensen tried to sweep it out in front. Saints able to clear. 5 minutes played here in the third period.
I would say I think the butterfly is just, at least nowadays, it's more reactionary for goaltenders just to go down because players have gotten so much better at deflecting shots from the point, redirecting shots, that if you're just playing straight up, it's going to be redirected into the back of your net. So it's kind of a reactionary thing to do. And, kind of got the best of Emily Shaw on that last shot.
The goaltender's trying to play the statistics, and keeping yourself in front of the bottom of the net is usually the better way to go, but it's kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. Delry tips it into the zone. Stratford holds it. A hot potato right along the near circle. Drop back to the point. Gillies steps into it. Wrist shot in just over the goal. And now they've got the book on Shaw as they're trying to go high on a lot of these shots. Back to 5-on-5. Another shot in from the point. That didn't get all the way through. Fresh out of the box is Stelzer. She looks to head up ice. Gets a bit of a slash across the wrist. No call coming. Stelzer going to go coast to coast, and then a late poke check from Drost separates player from puck. Brawley tossed it in towards the slot. Lions cannot clear. Now the shot in from Cook didn't quite get on goal. Gillies sweeps it over towards the far side. Drost looking for an escape route. Up the boards for Del Rey, but she doesn't clear. Brawley just slid it up the wall. That one right into a Lindenwood skate, and the Lions will dump it in. Both teams changing. Just a little over 13 minutes left to go here in the third. Cook got it out towards center. Turcotte says, I'll take that. Plays it back into her own zone, out of the reach of O'Connor. Up the near side wall. Escapes the stick of Bell. Back in her own end for the Saints is Arand. Bell rides her into the wall, and that's going to be a penalty. We talked about consistency, so good to see the arm go up in the air there. And that'll be the third power play coming up for the Saints.
Well, it seems like the story of today's game is the fast starts for the Saints, getting a lot of offensive zone generation going, and then a penalty. And then from there, it's been Lindenwood. So we'll see if they can, try and recreate that here on the power play.
Deflected shot by Johnson, and the save made by Busey. And then the pass back towards Gerwitz at the point is not where it needed to be. But to your point, Marshy, that did seem like that first penalty of the game really kind of threw everything out of whack, and Maryville just hasn't been able to get back onto their toes in this one. McAlpine brings it in on the attack, and then possession given away. A little bit of a pick will keep O'Leary away from the puck. O'Connor in her own end tosses it up towards the red line, out of the reach of Fisher, but the job's still done as the puck clears all 3 lines. A loose one at center ice and swept back the other way by White. Lions will change their penalty killers. Saints on the power play for another 65 seconds. Here comes Flock on the attack, and again, just too many dark jerseys in front. These zone entries have been hard to come by, and you have to give the Lions credit for that this evening, as they have just stood right up at the blue line every single time. Another icing here, but no whistle to come, as there's still 40 seconds left on the Saints man advantage. Gerwitz will put on the brakes as there's pressure right in her face. Not too much in the way of options right now. Pocket was picked, and Reed will send it back the other way. Stelzer up the far wing, up towards center, and stepping in was Drost. Interference or a body check, regardless of what it will be, interference is indeed to call. So we'll have a brief 5-on-3 now for Maryville, 17 seconds on that, but they will stay up by at least a man.
Yeah, that errant pass coming through the neutral zone almost worked in the Saints' favor, as they now do have that 5-on-3. 17 seconds, however, but hey, quick goal here. And take it 5-on-4 for the remainder, however much time is left on the clock for that 5-on-4 power play. Let's see if they can score.
They win the faceoff. Poisson with a wrister, nibbled off the glove. Rebound loose on the far side. O'Connor will clear it out. So the Saints did just about everything they needed to do. They won the faceoff, got a shot off, but unfortunately the 5-on-3 goes by the wayside. But they spring the counter with the stretch pass, and then the shot from O'Leary didn't quite hit the target. Lions will clear it down again. Shaw struggled to pick that one up. Wasn't sure if she wanted to let it go or block it down. Now Lilies with a shorthanded chance, and Shaw might have got a piece of that. One way or the other, it went over the top of the goal. Johnson has it in behind the cage. 1:15 left in the Saints power play. The puck right in front of their own bench. They go boards to boards. Here comes Stelzer, and plays it right into the defender. O'Leary sweeps it over to the other side, but the Saints mysteriously heading off on a line change. Poisson tried to steal it away, wasn't able to. Lions will clear it. Halfway through this period. Up through the middle, here comes Gerwitz, and now it's a 3-on-2. Gerwitz brings it in on the near wing. Wrister! Just wide, and it ricochets out of the zone.
Well, she got Busey on the first goal on that stick side high, and then this time she goes glove side high and just couldn't bury it. But, that's a heads-up play.
Slap shot in from Flock. Busey saw it all the way. That wasn't going to beat her as it was rising up into her midsection. Clock stops with 9:23 to go here in the third, and it's a 12-goal game.
Todd, I've been around the hockey rink my entire life, but this rink might be the coldest rink I've ever stood in. It's freezing in here.
The only one that I might say would match it is there's a rink up in Minnesota, just about 20 minutes outside of Minneapolis. I did a hockey tournament there, and that one probably matched this one, but the difference was I was there for 10 hours, so that makes it even more cold, so it's hard to tell. Power play is over. Saints now 0 for 4. Make that 0 for 5. Bouncing puck settled down by Fisher. Slap shot. Blocker save. Not too much on the waffle board there, but enough to turn it aside. Frank had that one slip away from her, but she catches up to it in the far corner. Brings it around on a wraparound. Going to retain possession. Gillies plays it around O'Brien. He glides out to pick up the loose man in the slot. A battle in the near side corner. It's a 4-player scrum. Tried to dig it off. Fisher able to get it away from the wall. Jabbed to the far side by Brawley. But again, the Saints cannot clear. Wasserman sends it up the wall, and now here's a bit of a break on for O'Leary, but she's shorthanded. 1 against 2. Blows a tire as she was going down. She was hoping to draw a power play. Nothing forthcoming. Poisson on the puck from the slot. Shot in, and a pad save was made. Frank on the counter. Brings it up through center. Taking on all comers. Keeps it on the backhand to the forehand, and Shaw had to be strong. Aran cannot clear. Second attempt. Tried to kick it away. Again, the Lions hold it in. McAlpine rims it around. Picked up on the far boards. Bell sweeps it down low. Jensen pushed from behind, and there's another somewhat silly penalty taken by Maryville.
Yeah, that one was a little bit dangerous, as that was Lauren Wasserman, and I don't think that was her intention to go in. I think she just tried to, pin her, pin the other girl up against the boards and just try and kill some clock and, well, not kill the clock, but make sure that her teammates came in for support, and she got a little bit too much. And unfortunately for her, she will head to the penalty box.
But yeah, to your point, it didn't seem like she was intending to make a bunch of contact, but Jensen was kind of bent over, reaching out for the puck, put her off balance a little bit, so anything from behind is going to put her dangerously into the boards.
Yeah, regardless, it's not a good look, especially when you're a referee. You see that happening, and you're immediately going to call that. So
another 5-minute misconduct against the Maryville Saints. So too much time in this game has been spent on special teams one way or the other. Maryville's had 5 power plays in which they've drawn very little offensively. Much of the game has been spent on the penalty kill as well. This is now the 7th power play for Lindenwood. Maryville unable to clear it. Bell holds it in, skates it towards the middle from the half wall. Takes a bit of a slash, but keeps the puck right on the tape. Takes a high shot and scores. Bell scoops it up and over Emily Shaw, who was down in the butterfly. Again, a little too early. But that upper portion has been where they've tried to put it ever since she came in the second period.
Yeah, it's hard to win hockey games when you're killing penalties for most of the game, and I'm a firm believer if a lot of these penalties aren't taken, this is a complete different game, and hopefully the Saints can clean some things up on Sunday to where this matchup won't be so lopsided.
4 power play goals for the Lindenwood Lions, potentially more. Shorthanded break here for O'Leary, but again, the number's not in her favor. She backhands it towards goal through the legs of one of the defenders, but that's going to open up ice in behind. Stratford brings it in on her off wing, lays it back to the circle. Frank with a good move. That's actually Del Rey. Drops it to O'Connor, long shot off the skate of Drost. Maryville positioned well, but the legs starting to straighten out a little bit here as fatigue is setting in. One-timer set up on the far circle. Stratford didn't get it towards goal, however, but Turcotte knocks it out of midair to keep it alive. She goes up high, but that hits the glass in behind. Maryville sweeps it down the ice, and they will head off on a change. .320 left to go here in this 5-minute major. Off the boards. Frank keeps it in. Oh, apparently she didn't. Looked like she kept that one in on the line. Linesman right in good position, though. Blew the whistle. Clock stops with 5:25 left in the game.
It seems like Lindenwood has gotten a lot of the chances compared to Maryville. Maryville, 19 shots on goal. And that's still a decent amount of shots. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to bury them. Lindenwood with 35. But, at the same time, Maryville, it's not like that they've been unable to get shots on net. So that's something you can build upon going into Sunday's game.
Tossed high off the glass. O'Connor gloved it down, played it herself, so that avoids the hand pass. Shot goes wide. Gillies carries it from the corner. Sets up behind the net. One-timer out in front. Big save made by Shaw. Fisher ties the puck up along the boards. Frank is trying to scoop the Saints, as that was Aran to tie it up a little bit. Again, the shot comes up high. It was blocked this time. Gillies spins, gives it over to Fisher. She was all alone in the circle. That's a dangerous area to let somebody into, but the shot missed. Now Fisher with another chance, and this one stopped by Shaw. 2 minutes left on the power play as the Saints are finally able to clear and get some fresh legs.
Great job by Emily Shaw fighting off all of those chances from Lindenwood as they planted bodies in front of the net that entire time, and she was able to shut the door.
Reed cuts through two defenders, finds a bit of open space on the far wing. Out from the high slot, deflected shot, misses just barely. Reed calling for it again. Instead, Bell looking for another goal. Circles all the way around. Wrister, and there's another waffle board save off the blocker. High off the glass, and Maryville will clear it out. Penalty kill starting to set into a little bit more of a groove here for Maryville. But Lindenwood could easily be taking their foot off the gas as well. Bell cuts up the near side, slides towards the middle of the rink. Trying to get around Brawley. Sends one out in front. That one's awkwardly off the side of the goal. Shaw doesn't really know where it is, but she stood tall as they were trying to jab that one in. Now there's a player down for Maryville. That's Gerwitz on the far side. Referee blew the whistle, but I don't think he had his arm up, although it does look like he's going to send somebody out.
Gerwitz fell down to the ice, and then as she was going down, got a cross check. And for some reason, I hope they're not sending her to the box.
Penalty box was open for a moment. Okay, look, she's going to the bench. So I think it must have been, since the referee blew it down for a potential injury, that Gerwitz had to leave the ice.
I was going to say, I was going to start arguing there.
Now shot in, blocker save, and the puck squirts up and over. It's in the net. And another power play goal for this potent Lindenwood attack. And just the puck bounces have not gone the way of the Maryville goaltenders. Another save. But you have to figure that probably 5 or 6 of these goals that have gone in were saves made, and either the rebound was put in or it just kind of hopped off of the pad or the blocker and managed to trickle over the line.
Yeah, just some bad bounces. And, you look at all of the goalies in this program are playing really well, and it just doesn't seem like they're getting the bounces that you would hope for. And, you look at the goalies from the men's D1 team, the men's D2 team, and this women's team. All the goalies have been playing great. It's just the bounces, and those will get you. That's just hockey, though. Like, look at that bounce.
Stratford took a slap shot. That one came all the way back in front off the glass. Lindenwood still on the power play for another 15 seconds. A long shot just misses. Shaw trying to smother the rebound. Now she's scrambling. The referee blows the whistle. Some of the Lindenwood players looked like they were celebrating, but I don't think the puck ever crossed the line. So we'll have a face-off in the zone.
Emily Shaw just flopping around, trying to find the puck. Another weird bounce off of the back of the boards, and it came right back to that post as Lindenwood was trying to jab it in there, and she just flipped around and looked like she might have got the backhand part of her glove on it to make the save. Incredible.
Active boards here. And interesting bounces, as you mentioned. We've had 2 shots in a row that have come directly back out in front. Fisher crosses the line just past the Maryville bench. She's tied up from behind, but Lindenwood still in control, at least for the moment. Gerwitz back on the ice. Rink-wide pass, ramps off the stick of O'Brien. She picks it up on the second attempt. And now the physicality continues. This time it's going to be Lindenwood heading to the penalty box.
I don't think I've been a part of a game that has had so many penalties. This is incredible. The amount of opportunities given for both teams. And it kind of messes with the flow to the game. You know, it's hard to get into a rhythm when every other minute it seems like there's someone heading to the penalty box. And, you know, we mentioned it earlier in that second period that, you know, Maryville's not playing with the amount of players that Lindenwood has. They have a shorter bench, and especially when you're taking these many penalties, it not only does the shorter bench essentially hurt you, but especially when you're taking penalties, you're down a few players. That also hurts.
When you only have so many players that you normally use on special teams, so that's going to shorten your bench even more.
Yeah.
And there have been 13 power plays in this game. A couple of those were 5-minute majors, maybe even 3. I kind of lost track, if I'll be honest. But that's just the amount of power plays. We've had a couple matching minors as well. So, yeah, a lot of energy spent on the ice that has been either shorthanded or with the power play, and Maryville just unable to capitalize as they're 0 for 5 thus far on their 6th power play right now, trying to get out of their own zone. Wasserman on her off wing, skates it across the line, leaves it for Flock. She skates into the high slot, easy for me to say. Stelzer with a shot. That one was blocked by Frank. Lions get it, toss it out. 30 seconds left in the period. Stelzer, stick handles around 1. Into the zone, wrist shot in, and Busey makes the save.
No, we mentioned all the penalties that have occurred today. It seems like not a lot of them have been any like stick infractions. It's been all physical penalties. Interference calls, roughing calls, from behind. It just, that's the kind of game that this one has been today. We'll see if that will carry over into Sunday's game.
Backhanded in behind the net. Bell ties it up as Flock trying to chip it off the wall. Sent out towards the slot, but nobody was home. That'll spring an odd man rush. Short-handed now. Now it's a 2-on-0. Here comes the shot in front. Big save made by Shaw as she is collided with her own defenseman. Tolovana Greenfield tried to get back as they're just going to let the final seconds tick off of this one. And Shaw, who just returned from injury, now shaken up again. And you have to hope that she'll be all right, as their defenseman collided with her, and now she seems like she's kind of grabbing at her shoulder, and that's never a good thing for a goaltender.
Yeah, it seemed like the defense came in and they kind of collided, and maybe her shoulder or head, I can't really remember. I'm sure you see it on the video on the YouTube page, but it seemed like either her shoulder or head hit into the post, which caused what we're seeing right now. And hopefully she's okay. Hopefully whatever happened with Sawyer Duncan, everything is fine on that end as well, because there's another game on Sunday, and you want both your goalies healthy. And tough way for this game to end, and that makes it even more tough.
So Maryville already a bit shorthanded in terms of the manpower. Now has to worry about goaltending situations. But not necessarily the best 60 minutes, and they won't be proud of this one, but they still put in the effort. And we'll have to see how it all shakes out come Sunday afternoon as these two teams will play each other once again. The puck will drop on that one at 2:30. The final here, once again, is 15-1 with Lindenwood obviously on top of this one. A couple bright spots here or there, some good saves made by the Maryville goaltenders, but it just was not to be on this night, Marshy.
No, it was not, and hopefully the Saints can clean up some things on Sunday and come home with their first victory of the year.
So we thank you for joining us here. We will have a post-game show coming up for you in just a little bit. That will be on a different stream. We'll see what the situation is with some of the goaltenders here this evening, and we'll try to get a final in on that one. But once again, the final, Lindenwood wins this one 15-1. For Andrew Marsh, for Will Starwart, I'm Todd Panula. We thank you for watching. This has been Maryville Saints Hockey.